Hello everyone, my name is Tristan Moss. I am the project manager from eMetric, responsible for managing the online portal as well as the student test delivery system for the main educational assessments this year. Today I am going to be going over the MEA online system, including an overview of the portal. I'll be focusing on the essentials for test administrators, and then I'll go over an overview of the kiosk as well as the schedule. The MEA online system is comprised of two components. The MEA Portal, which is accessed by test administrators. It contains student data, class rosters, as well as test session details, and the MEA Kiosk, which is the student test delivery system. Each student should only test on one device. Testing on multiple devices can create stale responses. If a student needs to switch devices, we definitely recommend that you contact technical support as soon as possible, just so that we can make sure that everything looks good on the server and that student won't have any stale responses once their device connects to the internet again. Do not turn off Chromebooks that are experiencing internet connectivity issues. If you need to switch devices, call technical support immediately at 1-855-652-8929. This year, the DOE is allowing the use of 360-degree Chromebooks as long as the students are testing in keyboard and laptop mode. Students are not permitted to test in tent or tablet mode. To launch the kiosk, the student will either double-click on a desktop icon, a network folder, or an icon in their dock if they're using a Mac machine. They will use the username and password from their student test login tickets that you've printed and passed out. They'll enter that username and password in these text boxes and click Sign In. Once the student has logged into the test, they'll see a session selector page. This will happen for the math, the reading, and the writing and language tests. The essay test will only have one session. The student will select the appropriate session, and then they will need the access code that's available on the test session details page, as well as on the PDF of student logins that you printed out. Give them the correct access code for the appropriate session. The student will type it into the session access code box, click Submit, and they'll be able to access the appropriate session. Universal tools are available to all students on computer-based tests. Students will have access to a guideline tool, answer masking, sketch and highlight, a notepad, screen zoom, reverse contrast, and custom masking. It should be noted that the notepad will not keep notes after a student has paused their test session. Students should be using their scratch paper to write rough drafts. They should not be writing their rough drafts in the notepad. Item tools are available to all students on specific test items. Students may have access to a basic calculator while taking the grades 3 through 6 math tests, a scientific calculator on the grades 7 through 8 math tests, and a ruler on various items in any of the math tests. Accommodations are available to specific students. They've been assigned by either the DAC, the STC, or the ITC. Students may have access to text-to-speech mathematics, text-to-speech writing, color contrast, or they may have had their universal tools turned off. Text-to-speech writing will only add read aloud to the essay test. There is no read aloud for the reading test or for the writing and language test. If a student is assigned an embedded accommodation, they will see an options page when they log into the kiosk and begin their test session. This will give the students a chance to toggle between their different options and get comfortable with the tools prior to starting the test. In the upper right corner of the student test delivery system, there's a green dot. This is your internet connectivity indicator. Students may not notice this, but proctors should be aware of the connectivity indicator and just kind of keep an eye on this as you're walking around the room. If it's green, that means that the student's device is connected to the internet, and if it's gray, it means that the device is not connected to the internet. The Proctor Password is available on the home page of the administration component, as I showed you a little bit earlier. If the student has paused their test for longer than 30 minutes or has remained inactive within a test session for longer than 60 minutes, they will be prompted to enter a Proctor Password here. The student should never know what the Proctor Password is. It should always be entered by the test administrator. We've talked about a few different kinds of passwords here. So a student password is used to log the student into the appropriate test, and it's entered by the student. That password is available on the student test login tickets. The session password is used to log the student into the appropriate session of the test. It's entered by the student. It's available on the first page of the student test logins printout, as well as in the test session's details. And the Proctor Password is used to log the student back into a test if the student has paused for longer than 30 minutes or has been inactive for longer than 60 minutes and needs to resume the session. It must be kept confidential, and that is entered by the proctor. To exit the kiosk, on the last item, the student will click on the Finish button. They will then see a test review screen where they'll click Turn In. Below the confirmation question, students will click Turn In again. The student will then be returned to the test session selection page and may select the next session or click Exit to leave the kiosk. Sample items were available online starting on February 20th. You can access these items using the kiosk, the mobile app, or the browser. Use the kiosk or the mobile app if screen zoom or TTS is required. The browser can be accessed by going to main.measuredprogress.org/student. You can access the math sample items using the username mainmath and the password practice. The ELA sample items can be accessed using the username mainELA and the password practice. Student data has been available in the portal, and the portal is open starting on February 10th. Site readiness testing and site certification from the ITCs has been started as well. School test coordinators, DACs, and ITCs can begin scheduling tests starting on March 6th, and the testing window will be open from March 20th through April 14th. And that's the schedule for math, reading, and writing and language. STCs, DACs, and ITCs can begin scheduling the essay tests starting on April 24th, and that testing window will go from May 8th to May 19th. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to the Measured Progress Technical Support. You can reach them by emailing mainservicecenter@measuredprogress.org or by calling 1-855-652-8929. The help and support site is available at main.onlinehelp.measuredprogress.org. This contains all of our user guides as well as some quick starts and cheat sheets. So we definitely recommend that you access this site and just take advantage of all the information that's available to you. Thank you.